That's right, folks, back once again with another tier list video. Today we're ranking each and every one of the badges out in Qatar 2022 from the worst to the best. Which one, of course, ranks supreme? We'll take a look at it, all of it in a second. Because if you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe button, bam to it. All things Rovers related, badges related, Woo! Cup related. We got all here, boys. And one Ruski, of course. Yes, been looking forward to this one. I do like a tier list video here every now and again. And I do like the old football badges, of course. So we're going to rank them from worst to best, of course, in a second. Of course, people show the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But anyway, let's get cracking, of course, and have a look at it. Of course, over the past couple of days, we take a look at the shits. But now we're going to take a look at the badges. So here we go. Kick it all off with the Zinger chicken dinner. Of course, it's Senegal. That's right. They're coming at you in random order. I do like this badge. It's got everything about it going on. Of course, they've got a lion in the back there. Of course, the colours of the flag are represented all over the place on the lion, in the lettering, as everything is scattered, of course, quite nicely. So this one is, I think, I would classify it as a great badge. It is modern. Not always modern badges are great, but this one is pretty stellar. For the time being, let's go to a badge, which I don't know about this one. It is pretty good. I think it's an eagle or a hawk of something for Saudi Arabia. It's got SAFF written in text there. Of course, there is the hawk there with, of course, a football emblem as well. It's quite clever as well, with the green of their flag in the background, the white, of course. I'm not too sure about the middle of the flag, but maybe there's a hawk in the middle of the flag. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know where to put this one. I do like it. It's on the fringes of good and great. I don't think it's that. I think it could be great. But I'm going to stick you in good for the time being, because I think we might have a lot of great badges coming at you. Next up, of course, we have the host. It's Qatar. Of course, let's take a look at this one. Zoom in up a little bit. Of course, got some text in here in native scribble. I don't know what it says. It might just say Qatar. They have what appears to be a football in the middle, of course, made up from some other stuff. Can we zoom in on that? Wow, I can actually zoom in on it. You guys aren't taking a look at it. Let's back up here. Maybe we can do it over here. Yes, we can. Zooming in on the leaves of the maybe a thistle. It looks like a thistle, like a Scottish thistle. But it is pretty boring. It's clever, but I just think they've tried too hard on this badge. So I'm going to put it as an okay football logo badge right now. Kicking on forward, let's go and take a look at Cameroon. I think this one needs an update, a rebrand perhaps. It is old school, and I am an old school fan, but yeah, this is a little bit naff. Just modernize it a little bit. Maybe just get the same stuff, change the text style, maybe put a bit of shading for the ball. It does have the one star on there, of course, for the successes maybe out in Africa. So I don't know, but I think this is pretty cack. It does need a bit of an upgrade when you look at some of the other badges. So I'm putting it down there. Sorry, Cameroon. I've got good hopes for you, but unfortunately, I don't think your badge is any good. Meanwhile, we have Mexico, of course, modernized Mexican badge. Big fan of their kits. Big fan of their badge as well. It's got the colors of the flag represented here, of course, with the outline. Of course, got another eagle or hawk, of course, here. Got the football there, the word Mexico. It's pretty good. In fact, I think it's pretty great, to be honest with you. Again, I'm not the biggest fan usually of modern badges, but that's a great take on it. This badge is hit and miss. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. It is the Swiss team. Maybe written in here Swiss something, I don't know, got a man with a football or whatever. It's grown on me, but it's also a little bit annoying to work with, so I'm actually going to put it down in the good badge. It's not really that fantastic. There's another badge that probably could do with a rebrand, is the Ghanaian Football Federation, of course. Not the biggest fan of this one. Probably looks very similar. Whoever did this one, the Cameroon one, did this one as well. Pretty much kind of didn't really put too much thought in it either. I think, yeah, it's terrible, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie, it's terrible. It could do with a redo. So unfortunately, you're down there, buddy, in the shit zone. Hopefully, we'll get some better joy elsewhere. Moving over to Spain. It's an okay badge. It looks very much like a club badge. Like a domestic club badge. It doesn't really scream out to me Spain. You know what I mean? It doesn't say, "Hey, we're Spain." Is it actually Spain? Because I always get mixed up between the Spanish and the Belgian ones. So hopefully, this is Spain. Yeah, it is Spain, of course. They've got the star for the World Cup. But yeah, it's confusing. it's got a lot going on in there. I understand that, and maybe you know there is some method to the madness with all this stuff. But for me right now, as we get close to the World Cup, that is a pretty boring badge. I'm going to put it in the OK. Meanwhile, take a look at Portugal. Of course, coming at you with a cross down the middle. We've got the Portuguese Football Federation. Something with some shields here. Again, they might mean something to Portuguese. I'm not trying to offend by saying what the shields, whatever they are. They might have some major significance. It's an old school badge. I think it's been around a while. It's got a bit of age to it, so I don't know. It doesn't really get me excited. You know what I mean? It's an okay badge. Not really competing. Next, of course, we have the Polish badge. And again, this looks like a military kind of badge. I like it. It doesn't scream Polska at me, but I know what it is. Red and white, of course, from the colours of the flag. Got a crown on, of course, the eagle here, or dragon, or whatever it is. But it's good. It's a good badge. That's all I could probably do. Because if you want to be in this bracket, you have to be something cool. Really, you gotta stand out for me. Of course, another one here is a traditional badge. It is that of the duchies. Again, similar style to that of the Polish lion, phoenix, whatever it is, dragon. Yeah, I like it. Again, it's very similar, and I can't. If I'm putting the Polish one in the good one, I've got to put the duchies in there as well. So I think it's a great badge. It's a traditional badge. It gives me good memories of the 80s and 90s. So we'll see about that. Here's another modern one. It's Korea. I do like it. I do like it a lot. It's got a very similar sort of vibe to that of the Mexican badge, with the tiger in the middle. Tigers. It says Korea at the bottom. Of course, it's got the colours of the flag as well. It's been a rebrand. It's a good take. It's a good modern take on it. I think this does get in the way. The word Korea down here. Maybe it could have been put in somewhere down here. It just makes it a little extended. Because when I bring it into the great column here, which it's going to go, it has to shrink all the way down here to fit. It's a little awkward in size, but I like it. Next, of course, we have the Japanese one, which is also pretty cool. It's got, of course, the red from the Japanese flag with the white at the back there. JFA, Japan, written, of course. Plain English for us all us nitwits who can only speak one language. It's all there in all its glory. It's a traditional badge. It's a good badge. I just don't think it's great. It doesn't sing to me great. I think it's a good badge. Meanwhile, we got Iran. Let's take a look at Iran, of course, and blow that bad boy up right now. We've got the flag, of course, obviously there. It seems a little bit weak, a bit timid. There's not much thought in it. Let's just stick the flag on, let's stick a football in there, and let's just say, our piece around the rim. It just doesn't. There doesn't seem much effort in it. So I'm honestly going to say, as badges go, it's pretty terrible. It's a terrible badge. So we're going to whack that bad boy down here. Not a fan. Not a fan of it. Meanwhile, of course, it is the Germans. I'm a little bit biased with this, so I'm going to try and be as honest as I can. Scoot over here. It's hard to see. It's very hard to see. That of the Swiss as well. It's got the 4 stars, of course. That's great, but take that out of consideration. It's got the German eagle in there. Fußballbund. It's iconic. It's an iconic badge. It's an iconic badge, but is it a great badge? No, it is not. So I'm going to whack you in there. As much as I love it, and I wanted to rank it as best as I can, that's the way it's going to be for the time being. Next, of course, we have France. Of course, emphasise the cockerel here, but with an outline of navy blue, of course, of France. Of course, represented by a couple of winds as well. It's simple. It's effective. It's France. Of course, not straying away from their roots, which is great. I do like the outline. You can work with it graphically. It's a nice bit of kit. So I'm actually gonna put that bad boy up here. Yes, I am. I think it's very good. Here we go. Of course, difficult one here for me as well. England. Star looks good in a lot of detail. The 3 lines there. It is another traditional badge. It's got the English rose in there, 3 lions. It's all keeping all its tradition. But again, just like the German one, I'm going to whack it in good. It's not great, is it? Moving on to South America, we go with Ecuador. What do we think about that badge? It's got the colours. It's nice. It's a nice work of art. This is actually a work of art. It does say Ecuador Football Federation, but it is all in unison. There must be some more to it as well. I'm sure there's a lot of logic behind it, and it does look like a good a badge. But I just don't think it's a stellar badge. A lot of I'm sure a lot of these modern ones do have some logic, some reason behind a lot of these things. Next up, of course, we have the Danish one, the Danish badge, which you won't see at Qatar, which because they're cleverly done their shirts these days. It's a traditional badge. It's been around a few years. It does seem to have a modern font on there. 1889. How would I if this was a club badge, I would like it. I'm going to stick it in. Let's actually stick it in the good column. I'm going to have to scooch these down. The Swiss one's so awkward. I have to squish everyone in there a little bit. Let's move these guys over. Let's get the Danish guys in there. Next up, we have the Croatian badge. It is a little familiar. It's very familiar and iconic. It's a little bit boring, though. It's a little bit dull. Sometimes keeping with tradition can be a negative effect. But it's borderline okay. I'd say it just falls into this. Okay, we're on to the Portuguese and the Spanish. I think that's in good company right there. Costa Rica, I've rebranded and gone with a new logo. It is plain and simple CR. Maybe there's some reason behind the outline, the shape of it, but to be honest with you, it doesn't do much to it, does it really? There's not much excitement about that badge. Canada, I do like. I've got a soft spot for Canada, I really do. Old school badge, can't really see much of this. It's got half of a football, Canada maple leaf, Canada across the thing. It's traditional. It's lovely. I'm going to whack it up there alongside the Frenchies. Next, of course, we have the Brazilians. Of course, probably wouldn't touch this, would they? But they would definitely not. It does look like it's actually been touched up, though. It looks like it has been touched up but tweaked. And I do suggest tweaks for the Cameroon, the Ghanaian, definitely the Iranian one. I think that just needs the whole and the Qatari one. They all need rebrands. Definitely. But this one just seems like it's been touched up, been modernised, cleaned up a little bit, but keeping the originality or the tradition of the badge. But it's just a little boring. Just a little boring, unfortunately. It's an okay badge. You might have been multiple winners and you might be favourites, of course. But for me, that badge is a pretty vanilla flavour. Next, of course, we have Australia. Of course, the Aussies, the Socceroos. Here it is. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot going on in this badge. Of course, we've got the kangaroo, we've got the emu, and then we've got some maybe the territories or the provinces or the states or the counties, whatever you want to call them. The parts of that make up Australia. They've got the star, which bearing some significance. Again, I don't want to say that sound like I'm sucking eggs because I don't know the history behind the badge. All these things within the badge, but it's got a lot going on in there. It's got a lot going on. I like it. It is, of course, old school. It's a bit big, though. You know what I mean? It's a bit big. A lot of wasted space in here. If we are completely honest with you, a lot of wasted space. Maybe they could have, I don't know, tightened this up a little bit. It's very wide. Wide badges can be problematic, but I'm going to put you up there with great. Let's go take a look at the Welsh boys then. Now, this has been also cleaned up recently to have a much more popping kind of image. It's got the dragon. That's definitely 100% a dragon. And, of course, the colours that are represented by Wales. Very sharp, very poppy, and I'm going to put you up there with great. I think it's a good badge. It doesn't say Wales on there, but when you see it, you know it's Welsh. Here's another one that could do with a redo, touch up, and it is the Belgians. It's got the flag. It looks okay. It's got, and it's actually in the shape of a B. Quite clever. Of course, it tells you where it is. So if my wife saw it, she would go, yeah, that's from Belgium. It's got the crown as well. They have a royal family over there. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just a little bit stiff, a little bit meh, And again, that's why I do get mixed up between them and the Spanish. It's just a bit meh. That's all. Let's take a look at these guys. It's actually a wild card. It's Tunisia, and I do like the look of this. Got a lot going on. It does tell you where it is. Tunisia got the emblem they have in the middle of their flag. It's got a Tunisian bird, and of course it's got some a native scripture up there. This actually is an outsider to be a dark horse, not for the win the World Cup, but to win my badge of the World Cup. I'm going to put it up there with great. I think it is pretty fantastic. So we'll do that. Next, of course, we have Argentina. Of course, Argentina. 2 World Cups to the name. It's traditional, it's old school. I don't know if it's been touched up or modernised, but I think it could do with a facelift as well. Some of these old school badges just need to take the approach of a Mexico or a South Korea and go for it. But I am on the fence with what I just said. Traditional World Cup winning, mega nations. Don't really want to deviate from what's got them there. You know what I mean? Those badges are synonymous with success. So it might be easier for the likes of Mexico, South Korea, no disrespect, to change your badge. But maybe just kind of take what you got there so far and kind of just tweak it a little bit slowly, maybe a bit of 3D effect or something that makes it pop. We change the font a little bit just to kind of give it a bit of poppiness. The Brazil one does look like it's been touched up. But it's just a little not enough. Next, of course, the USA. I think they've been changing their badge for fucking years. It's quite annoying when they overdo it. If you're going to change it once, maybe for 10 years or something like that, just keep it. But I think the USA keep on changing it. It's good. It's got the stripes of the flag, of course. It says USA on it. If you saw it, you know where it is. It's just a bit. I think it's an okay badge. No, I think I'll push it in the good. There's another one. Definitely needs a rebrand, and it's Uruguay. I get mixed up easily between these two. Them and Argentina all the time. They're of course perennial winners or mega winners. It looks like. I actually had a quote or a comment in one of the other videos from a Uruguayan, I imagine, that they claim to have won 4 World Cups. 2 before the 1930 back in the Olympic Games. So that's why I think the 4 stars are there. Correct me if I'm wrong. So they are claiming that right now. But this badge is shit. It is. I'm going to put it down here with the Argentinians. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to no disrespect. I just think that badge definitely could do with a rebrand. And this is the last one I've got here, guys. The last one, and it is Serbia. Serbia, just like a couple of the other badges here, very traditional, synonymous with, of course, Serbia. It's just a little dull for me. The ball looks like it's just a clip art just pasted in there on top of a more Serbian sort of graphic. It just it's just a little cheap. I'm going to put you down here though, with the okays. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 logos that I feel are class and quality. Let's take a look. I'm going to move 4 up there to top bins. Tunisians going up there. I think it's cracking. I like the Mexican one as well. That's going to go up there. Australia's got too much, too wide. Senegal is a good one. I don't think Korea gets there. It's between these two really. I'm going to go Welsh. I think that it just pops. It just pops for me. So those are my 4. They're my 4 best World Cup logos that are going to be on display in Qatar 2022. A couple of African nations in there. We got a Central American or an American ish team in Mexico, and we've got a European in Wales. I think that is the top 4 badges. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know down below, of course. as we look forward to the World Cup. And of course, non-stop coverage right here at Blabbering Overseas. Make sure you smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, smash the little bell. We go again, guys, of course, non-stop content from the weekend onwards, really, because we're going to have a daily phone-in show where you could be on the show with me, chatting about World Cup and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be live, and of course, hopefully you will be there to watch it. But until then, guys, go smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, smash the little bell. We'll see you soon for in Qatar. But until then, we're done.